Hello and welcome back again to the channel. I know I did a video earlier today, then we talked about this potential outbreak and what to do and in where direction it was leaning. Now we had the outbreak, so the question is this confirmed? And we'll start with looking at what is normal with this outbreak, but a few things that are quite unusual, and then we will come to how do we see if this is confirmed or not. But first, as always on this channel, I'm not sharing any financial information, just my own thoughts and crazy ideas. So, crazy idea number one, that is what we normally see on outbreak. That is this candle. This is what is normal. You see this green, very strong candle here. When we are in a downtrend like this and get a very strong green reversal candle, that is usually a sign of that we are going to have an outbreak. When we got this green candle here, I did say that this is a decent green candle and we got some bounce up. When we got this one, I said this is an even better candle, really good. So I expect us to go higher than this one, all the way up to the red. Not necessarily breaking on the first attempt, but at least go up and touch here and then we will see. You can see, for example, if we go down here to the latest reverse, the same here, you see this very strong green candle that started it all off and then we broke out. But here comes the second point that is a little unusual. We had one touch up here, and then we had two down here, and this was the second. Normally, we do not break out in any direction on the second touch. It's usually on the third, fourth, fifth, or sixth touch that we actually break out. Usually, we have at least two touches on the side we will break out on before we break out. Let me show a recent example. So this is when we were at all-time high last time here, not so long time ago. We had one touch here, second, third, and then on the fourth we broke through. And then as you can see, we only had two up here, and then we start to get more on the downside and upside, we usually break to the downside. Also, as we watched on the other video, that the regression line was going upwards and the volume profile was going down, so everything was predicting a downwards move. But this time around we broke already in second, and that is quite unusual. Also, if you see an RSI 4 here, it went down, which tells us we should go down. RSI 14 though, when this one is down, that tells us we should go up, and we also got a bullish divergence soon thereafter. So the RSI 14 told us the market will go up. It's oversold. RSI 4, not 14, 4, which we interpret in a different way, told us we should go down. And when these two disagree, we usually get a stronger move in the direction of RSI 4. It usually always wins over RSI 14 when they disagree. When they agree, we go sideways, but when fast rapid move happens, they disagree. But look now what happens this time around. Well, RSI 4 said we're going up, and it started already with that somewhere in this area here. But RSI 14 has still not told us to sell. So this one is not saying that we're overbought. That haven't happened yet. I guess it will happen soon, and that might maybe kick us off for a second rush to the upside or push to the upside. But that's also a little bit unusual. We haven't got an opposite or a wrong indicator from RSI 14. And just to be aware of, this is really common. If you look at the outbreak last year, this is when we first went up to 50k. You can see how we have oversold and bearish diversions during the entire bull run up. And in particular, this line here at around 50k, when we got oversold twice and bearish divergence again. Also, this was a Fibonacci level, and also it was some medical level in the logarithmic chart going all the way back to previous bull run, telling us we could not break it before the halving or something like that. So many people took short here, and I actually think, I'm quite convinced myself, this has this entire bull run, in particular the altcoins, because retail lost so much money, they didn't have anything to kickstart the altcoins and still don't have, unless they join this rally, get some profit and recircle that into altcoins. Otherwise, I don't think we'll have an alt season, which I've been saying for 2 years now, but I'm open to change my mind. I see some signs we could have it, but that also means that we need to do some right trades in Bitcoin so that there are some more money to roll into altcoins. But my point here was that you see here in these uptrends how the RSI 14 keeps telling you to sell, 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 go up, up, up. It's a sign of that we have a fast and rapid move to the upside. Then when we go sideways here for 7 months, RSI 14 work reasonably well, a little bit similar to RSI 4. When they disagree, that is when we have the explosive moves. And they haven't disagreed yet. That's my point here. Now, if we look at Euler's exponential, you can see that we went up and touched this line, had a slight pullback, and now we start to go up again. There's nothing wrong with it, but usually what happens, you can see, for example, here, when we also went down, we bounced on it, and then we went up to this line, went down and touched it again, and we're pretty close here. And you can see also earlier how we, after being at this line, we went down and bounced a few times, and then we get this energy, and that's pushed to the upside. This time around, we did bounce once, twice here, went up, similar to this over here, but then we only went down here, and now we're already going up. Normally I would expect us to either go all the way down here or keep going sideways until we get close and then pull away. Now, this is based on the historical pattern where we had more retail in, and in particular market manipulators playing cat and mouse game with retail. And I said already some months back now, 2-3 months back, that I don't see so much manipulation, and that is because there's no counterpart for the market makers. They need someone to play cat and mouse game with. They can't play it with themselves, and they cannot play it with the investors. They don't care at all. They just buy according to schedule. You're not going to get strategy and other companies like that to buy and sell because the market makers want to make money. It's not going to work. They need to do this with retail so far until other big players that are more easy to fool joins the market. And they will probably come, but they're not here yet. Why I'm saying this is because this doesn't necessarily be that we have to follow the previous pattern, because with market makers having no counteropponent to fool around with, the market will look different. And we saw that all the way up here. We got these sideways movements without this traditional Elliott wave dips before we went up. So that was also a sign that we had, and I also said back then that it seems we have less retail now. There's no one to fool around with. So it could be that this is normal, but still, compared to previous time, this is usually not how Bitcoin behaves before it have this strong pushes to the upside. Also, if we look at the short-term principal component here, the last 10 hours, the market as such is spread out in a quite nice normal way. And also if we look at all the crypto coins here, they're quite spread out. There's no particular pattern. Sometimes you have everything in one corner and then one thing running away like this. In such a situation, you usually know that big players are moving things from one coin to another, and then the water doesn't behave as the wind is there. It behaves like a boat passes by, and that causes different ripples on the water. That's an analogy how this pattern recognition tool works. Don't you worry, I will describe how this works more in videos to come, because this one is just up now again. I haven't been able to use it for a month. By the way, this one looks normal. It doesn't show any signs of big moves or market makers doing anything, which also perhaps a little bit comforting that we might have now a different pattern and the breakout will succeed despite that we're taking some shortcuts compared to how Bitcoin normally behaves. But normally we have also had big players playing cat and mouse with retail. What I still would like to see though is the usual 32 hours above this resistance, because then it usually flips to support. So if we stay above for 32 hours before we potentially come down, I think we should bounce. Then we have a high probability of a bounce. It's not always a bounce on it. If we go high above it, we will probably not reach down to it. If we stay here, we could come down and maybe go down to this line that we have sort of in this region here and bounce on that one. That have happened before. For example, here when we were trapped between 70 and 50 for 7 months, we finally broke out. We were out above it many times, but never long enough. But here we eventually got our 32 hours, and then we dipped down, and we dipped down a little bit below it, but then off we went. And as you can see, a strong green candle here again also. So that's kind of my decision criteria. It's all about probabilities, but we have seen this one working now, I think it's close to 10 times. And the fundamentals behind it is that when you break a resistance, you go to all-time highs, for example, you want all time zones to weigh in on it. Do they feel this is the direction we should go, or do they have other opinions so they will dump upon us? And then that is 24 hours. And then the reason I want another 8 hours is because I want the first time soon I did this push to see if they keep pushing or if it was just a manipulation move. Because usually when you have manipulation moves, they end up changing the next time zone it's their turn again. So approximately 24 hours after whatever move they did, it will go in the opposite direction. So if all time zones are weighed in and it wasn't manipulation, well then usually this resistance is now support and up we should go. Trading wise, as I said in the previous video, I will start to put in longs as soon as we break out here and enter some liquidation level also, because we usually do not turn around. So I have a few trade in and I will show that in the next video. So now if the market turns back in, they're only secured in profit. But if the market keeps pushing higher, right now it's standing a bit still, so I've been waiting. But as soon as it moves faster, I will put more trades in. So thank you very much for watching potentially a second time for today, and hope to see you soon again.